conclusion of the World Championship qualifiers, the Rush Duel Links metagame has rapidly accelerated, shown on screen. It's the current list provided by the RDL server. For the most part, I think every deck here is ranked correctly, in terms of its viability. However, as this is my video, let me show you what I think the tier list should look like. This is a more accurate reflection of the metagame. The other decks simply don't exist in any capacity in the top 100 of the event. With so few decks, there's not a lot to say about placement. So let's discuss why these decks are the ones that are doing well. First up, machines. Mirror Innovator provides piercing damage through a set 3 board similar to Dragias, but the self-attack boosting ability lets it clear over the many 2500 attack point monsters that Dragias otherwise struggles with in the current meta. To make matters even worse for the opponent, Amigal gives it another 1000 attack point boost. Ultimate Bond searches Amigal right from the deck in exchange for a card in your possession, allowing the deck to trade away use of spell and trap removal from their field, 4 extra monsters, and enabling them to run 5 or even 6 spell trap removal cards to make sure they are not getting hit by negate attack. Alternatively, with the ability to send away a monster on board, Ghost Cyclone and Bulgercorn can be made live at a moment's notice, and with all the cards shuffling away monsters from the graveyard, Ghost Cyclone is even going to be drawing you a card late into the game. Between Mirror Innovator, Essel, and Ghost Cyclone, the deck has over an 80% chance of opening a card that blows out the opponent when going second, giving this deck more versatility on the coin flip. Speaking of coin flips, Barrel Dragon provides incredible value, though some players are wary of Combustion Crisis and are running Cybertech Alligator in its place instead. This provides another target for Gold Rush, and allows you to set up powerful boards a little bit more consistently, as this is only a 1-tribute monster. Max of Ragnarok looks incredibly similar to its previous builds. However, the addition of Chaos Femtron is enough to bring this deck from the edge of viability all the way to contender for best deck in the format. Compared to the machine deck, it has an even higher power ceiling. Chaos Femtron and Agitated Hydron make it possible to bring in multiple boss monsters on a single turn, while still using the skill like a Talismanic Seal Ray, debuffing 2 opposing monsters for a big 5,000 damage push. With the arrival of a new low-level monster comes additional value in Bell's Tactical Money, as returning Chaos Femtron into the deck guarantees you find a playable hand next turn. A Drago itself still offers lethal pushes through Buffered Slime, and machine players need to find exactly a Mirror Innovator to out it, though Noodle enjoyers might be able to stall out with King's Majesty, Call of the Earthbound, and Negate Attack. The only thing that keeps this deck from a clear number 1 position is its ability to be countered by Shield and Sword. The machine deck has no weakness, but Cyberse monsters are all either 0 or 100 defense, allowing this card to end the game. Paco qualified for Worlds by acknowledging this and including a couple of copies of Recital in the deck, a tech I believe should end up becoming more popular. The Noodle deck is currently a dedicated counter to machines, running 3 copies of Combustion Crisis to shuffle away bosses and a bunch of traps that punish the opponent for only bringing in a single boss. The deck notably only has 1 true boss of its own, and it will struggle in any game it doesn't find them. Mirror Innovator's presence in the metagame has caused players to drop Flavor Inspector for Tang the Noodle Ninja, who also notably will stop a reset runner from swinging over it. Siesta Torero is a natural fit for the deck, recycling extra spice without risking a brick on Talismanic Seal Ray. Builds without Torero struggle immensely against the Cyberse deck, which otherwise reliably reaches a situation in which they have 3 boss monsters on the board, providing manpower to push through Call of the Earthbound without exposing themselves to Combustion Crisis. Notably, the deck is incredibly slow and adopts Cycloptron to help protect its board state, but a more aggressive variant with a copy of Extra Spice also exists. Certain players have also been experimenting with Dream Drummer, allowing them to give it a bit of life while also disrupting decks like Magnum Overlord by shuffling away the pieces they put on top of the deck. But there aren't very many decks running Sports Dragons, Aquas, or a Currybot to get that additional value. And if Noodles are meant to be a counter to machines, Rebels are the counter to Cyberse. Mirror Innovator gives the machine deck a clean way to consistently push damage through Death Doom's low defense bosses, but Cyberse lacks that capability. Summon out 3 monsters and clear the board, and Shadowbuyer is going to enable Death Doom to wipe out your board and deal nearly 6,000 damage at once. Play it safe with only 1 or 2 attack position monsters, and Heavy Metal is instead the one swinging in for a ton of damage. Piercing Samurai provides even more aggression against Cyberse, and the only reliable way I have found to win is to get in some chip damage, and then assemble a Drago and hope they whiff on a Death Doom the next turn. Stop Defense is a great choice for enabling Shadowbuyer and Death Doom's effects, but other players are on Pierce instead to further take advantage of those low defense numbers. If you want to win, bring one of these decks. Blue Eyes might have some potential with the right build, but a complete absence from the qualifiers shows that nobody's figured it out yet. Overlord can always steal games, and Thunder gains some value in a meta with 3 decks featuring 0 defense bosses, but we will have to wait and see if and when it shows up. Thank you for watching.